Hi, welcome
back.
Yeah, it's time for us to get into some conversations. Of course, you know it's Monday. So Mondays we're talking nutrition. And Akosia Kunedu Yadom has joined us on the show today. And we're going to be talking about multivitamins. Multivitamins. We're going to look at the whole dietary, nutritional importance.
Or multivitamins, depending on which side of the coin you sit on. I'm just saying, multivitamins are multivitamins. I'm just saying. It's like, you have options. Life is about options.
Abigail Akosia Kunedu Yadom. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, good. No, you see, you don't like to call you Abigail, but when you show me your passport and Abigail has been removed, I'll stop. So
let's talk nutrition.
But how have you been?
God's grace abounds. I hope you're fine too.
Yes, we're well. We're all right.
This morning I have a lot of fire.
All right. Well, yes. Yeah. Where is this energy coming from?
Did
Definitely
you take some multivitamins?
The Lord knows. So multivitamins. What do we? How important are they?
Okay, so
what are they and how important are they?
Vitamins are needed by all of us, male, female, the invalid, the convalescent, the child, even the one sitting in the womb. Will need some vitamins to survive or to do well and then come out. And once you are out, life continues. That's where you have to run the race, and we run on nutrients. And so we need some sort of vitamins. There are times you may need one. There are times you may need two. There are other times you may need almost everything, depending on what you are trying to take care of. Multivitamins has to do with vitamins and then dietary minerals and nutrition elements. So they come together to form a multivitamin. There are several nutrients you can talk of. We have thiamine for heart health. We have riboflavin, helping with the clearing of free radicals. October, we spoke extensively about the breast and cancer, and free radicals. Having riboflavin will help you as far as supplying you with this powerful nutrient to wash off free radicals. And then we have niacin. Niacin helps with our nervous system. So nutrients are very, very important. We have vitamin B6. B6 has to do with brain health. We have B12. B12 has to do with also our blood health. And then we have calcium, obviously. Every child in Ghana knows, for the formation of stronger bones and teeth. And then we have folates. Folates help with our hemoglobin levels. For a woman, you need to make sure your HB or hemoglobin is between 12 grams per deciliter to 16 grams per deciliter. For a man, 14 to 18. And so having food rich in folates, or the greens we have, will go a long way to supply you with this nutrient. We have magnesium for stress removal or stress management. And then selenium, powerfully seated in the nuts, the seeds, or the pulses we have around. And it's very good as far as immune health is concerned. It's also help with relaxation for you. For you, at your core, your schedules are stressed up, and so making sure you infuse some of these nutrients will help you. And then zinc for reproductive health of men especially, and then for immunity. But then for multivitamin, when you're going for a multivitamin, make sure these ones sit in vitamin C.
And
then
that's a must.
So depending on what you're trying to do with, we'll get there. There are some multivitamins you don't have to go for. Because an example, I'll just go into it. Calcium, iron. You see some multivitamins in the pharmacy or the supplements shop, and then because you're trying to mimoja form, so you are trying to kill two birds with a stone. So you have low HB, so you want to go for something with iron, and then my kotoje, my waist, my joint pains, my back pains, and so I want to also get the calcium one. And so instead of buying, let's say, calcium iron, why don't I just buy the one with iron and calcium in there? But it's wrong. If you have any multivitamin with the combination of calcium and iron, it means that the calcium is going to inhibit the absorption of the iron. So it is cost 90. It is zero. And then when you combine something like that, for women, it can tamper with your menstrual cycle. And then you can have heavy flow of blood. So know when to go in for what. And I always tell pregnant women when I'm having my presentation, if I can eat my way out of it, why not? Because we eat more than we take some medications or we take medication. But for some individuals, for example, if you're a pregnant woman, we don't plan our pregnancies here. Elsewhere, couples go prep themselves. I had this older client, she can be my mom, but she was a client, became a friend, was like, okay, when I married with my husband, we moved to London and then we gave ourselves 2 years to just have fun before we have babies. And so 6 months into when they thought they were ready, they started seeing a nutritionist and a gynecologist to help them prep their stores, to make sure that their folate stores are, the woman's folate stores are enhanced, the man's zinc stores for quality sperms and all that are dealt with before pregnancy starts. And then we have the folates. Every leafy green, peculiar to you. I am a northerner, I am a Khan. So where I'm coming from, the leaves or the leafy greens peculiar to me, I will deal with it. Apioko ever, I am Ga. You can deal with yours, and then from the rain places, the every people, you can also deal with what you have. So if you have alefu, bokoboko, ademe, bra, ayoyo, whatever you have, know that you are supplying your body with folate, and then the pulses, nuts and seed, and then zinc. So make sure these nutrients are seated in there. And for a lot of multivitamins, you have the B6 and B12 also sitting in because of the fact that it does some good to you. So talk to a professional. Don't just go for a supplement or a multivitamin because you heard that it is good. In as much as a particular food may serve you some nutrients, as far as the multivitamin you are choosing is concerned, there are persons with certain conditions. If you have G6PD, no matter how much I want you to eat your way out of a multivitamin to have a food sitting on your plate to deal with this, there are certain things you can't take because of what you have. And so if you are pregnant, if you are an athlete, if you are a convalescent or somebody who is recovering, if you are an invalid who is sick and maybe your condition is linked to anemia or what have you, depending on what the diagnoses are, we'll know which supplement to give you. But obviously we have some general multivitamins that serve general purposes, but then research supports the fact that if you have a multivitamin embodying every bit or every part of these nutrients I've mentioned in, tendency to have the strong potency as far as, let's say, calcium is concerned is limited because we have to suppress it to make sure these other ones also come in.
Something always has to give for the other to gain.
But ideally, if you pick a calcium supplement, you can get up to 600 milligrams for that solo calcium supplement. But then there are some I even give to clients, but then we learn every day. You can have calcium, magnesium, and zinc infused. Definitely there will be a suppression somewhere because you don't also want to load, 600 of this, that would be too much for your body to handle because, like it or not, your body will get some from the food you are eating.
Does that also mean, Akosia, that assuming you were prescribed or you're advised to go for, say, a calcium supplement, a zinc supplement, an iron supplement, all differently, you would be put on a medication schedule. You may not be able to take all of them, in the morning with your tea and then move. So let's talk about that, the importance of also paying attention to how you're supposed to take your supplements, just like any other, kind of medication.
Thank you so much for this question. So most of the times, especially the pregnant women, you realize that Apioko keeps seeing the nutritionist, but her HB is constantly dropping. And so it's up to you, the professional, to try and dig, because there are some people taking Totema for 3 months. Hey, that's a whole lot. But still have their hemoglobin levels low. Now you have to probe into what the person is eating. There are some pregnant women who deal with their cravings using this milk in the bottle. It's red. It has this the name written in red, and then it's so you get it. The soya bean based. But then if you are and it's named something milk, there are some women at a point that was what they were using, and so I was like, when you come for ANC, do you discuss how to deal with some of these things? A classical example, I had tilapia with vegetables, with avocado, and then my banku or my komi or keke. And then afterwards, I took that bottle and drank everything on it. I've destroyed everything as far as the iron is concerned, because that vegetable, the onions, the tomatoes, were going to serve as powerful enhancers for the absorption of the iron in the tilapia. But then I have taken calcium, and when calcium and iron meet, calcium beats iron flat. And so it means that just that drink or a glass of what you call juice has ended up destroying everything you are doing. So a classical example is that most pregnant women, second trimester, third trimester, are given a calcium supplement. Idios, very popular. They know. It's blue, yellow, white. And then you realize that because they are taking this calcium supplement, it is affecting their hemoglobin levels. When you see me, I tell you, let it be the last thing you take before bed. Because let's say I had my supper at 6:30 or 7. By the time I retire, 9, 10 p.m., 3-hour interval, it's enough for my body to be able to absorb every iron I've had in my supper. So that there is room for the idios or whatever calcium supplements my gynae gave me to also have its space and work. So it is very important that once we give you some of these information, when you enter the consulting room, I always empower people to ask questions. Don't be afraid of the person seated with the white coat. We are there to answer you, because whatever I am giving you, if I don't give you the time to give you every information on how best to use it, it can also cause another issue, because I am trying to protect this pregnancy. In that chance or quest to help you, I am also inhibiting the absorption of iron. So discuss whatever multivitamin. There are a lot of brands, there are lots of products, but the clues I need you to have, they are the ones I have given you. But then I'll go on to stay formulas with both iron and calcium. It is the #1 clue. I've spoken about it. Calcium, iron, they can never come together. So any supplement on the shelf that is giving you this, that combination, it's a no-no. But it is there. Heavy brands that I trust and work with are even doing it. And then
I'm sure it's there for a reason. And if you need it, you'll be recommended to take it.
That's why I'm saying that it depends on what you are also treating. And mind you, I am seated here. Citi is interested in empowering people. For some people, it's business for them. And so once I know that, putting calcium and this together, somebody can address in their minds, they are addressing two things at a go. I will rather go for that than choose a calcium and then an iron supplement separately, because that will be extra cost. But then the tendency that you get iron, it's almost zero, or if not zero. And then check for activated forms of nutrients. When you are taking a supplement, if it's riboflavin that you need, go for that. If it's B6, go for that. Sometimes they try to do it in a way. An example is riboflavin 5-phosphate. Sometimes, instead of you going for the raw things, you don't give the supplement the chance for your body to benefit from everything. So it's like the riboflavin 5-phosphate is the deactivated form. And so instead of you to get the direct riboflavin, and we have classical examples, when you eat from the food sources, the pulses, nuts, seeds, the fruits, vegetables, you get everything in its natural form. But then if supplementation has to come in, which I do for some people, I won't give you riboflavin 5-phosphate because that is deactivated. I need an activated source. And then avoid synthetic folic acid. Now go for the folates rather. And like I said, any greens peculiar to you. And when it comes to you choosing a supplement, to just talk to a professional. A nutritionist can help you, or your physicians or general practitioner can help you choose the best option. Don't go for it because everybody says it's good. And then choose multis with vitamin E complex, another one here. Don't choose just one, because we have types of vitamin E. When you choose the complex one, you have the opportunity to embrace all the types and not go for just one type, which might not. So you find out that people are taking a particular product, but it is not giving them the results they desire.
I see. This is interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
What about people who take supplementation for specific things? So, for example, my hair is not growing.
Yeah.
My nails are soft, so I want to take supplements with biotin. That's become a very interesting.
So
thing
I have a complete Ghanaian meal to serve all these things we are talking about, and the meal is honorable abum with avocado, with egg, with little Kobe, because of enumode, and then with some boiled plantain, with some sliced onions on it. Now, we are taking every ingredient one after the other. When you take the plantain, it has potassium. Potassium sits in the list as far as the perfect multivitamin should be like. So when I posted it on my status, I was like, we are discussing the multivitamin in a way that we are going to eat through whatever we want to put in us. So you taking that boom is giving you a classical example of a natural way to make sure you combine everything with no side effect. And then contomere, blessed with folates. You can use contomere, you can use cassava leaves. Excellent as far as folate is concerned. No deactivation, 100% activated by God. And then egg, blessed with iron for your hemoglobin health. And then onions, rich in vitamin C. Also good as far as absorption of the folate is also concerned.
So
and then
the iron, do we leave it fresh, or it's okay caramelized?
Okay, so it depends. You don't have to let your oil how do you call it,
soften it or soak it too much. Don't there should be a bit of crunch.
I scoop every oil from my stew. I always tell people I am eating stew, I'm not eating the oil. So make sure that a little, too much of everything can be bad. So a little, I know you want it to be dancing. But it's also it has vitamin A. But then you have to do it right, because there was this documentation as to how they do the palm oil.
Is the zoom,
It's a red oil. This is a classical food. I'm so happy with what is on the screen. And even the avocado, that is the most powerful thing in the bowl seated there. You have vitamin C in there. So it being one key nutrient as far as multivitamins are concerned, it's been a powerful enhancer to help you with the absorption of every iron sitting in the food you are eating, not just the folate, but then you are killing the folate, you are killing the iron combination. And then we have vitamin E. Also very powerful. This will give you the complex ones and not just one type. And then we have potassium in avocado. Very good for the heart also.
So there's potassium in the avocado, potassium in the plantain.
Yes. And it helps with even the hair thing you were trying to address. And so please don't abuse this, but then it can be a food you can have. And then it has vitamin. It has vitamin B6. It has riboflavin. It has niacin. It has folate. It has magnesium. It has pentatonic acid.
Wow.
So simple avocado, something you can just enter at the Braka market and buy. It's a superfood. Avocado is a superfood. And you having a boom with avocado, with plantain, the Kobe, I didn't even stress on it, because if it's tilapia, deciding to go for iron, egg is already ahead, because egg is a superfood. You are blessing your system with every one of the nutrients, including the ones you have to be deliberate about.
Wow. Akosia.
Yep.
Brilliant.
What you've said is a lot. I think that people would probably appreciate maybe sometimes a further breakdown or whatever. How do people get in touch with you?
Okay, so you can follow me on my Instagram page at the nutritionist Akosia. I'll post this. I'm interested even in the album. At the nutritionist Akosia on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, nutritionist Akosia. You can WhatsApp me on 0243 350206.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
A boom for life.
A boom for life.
Don't abuse it, please, fellow Ghanaians.
You know, for those who are watching who are not familiar with the Ghanaian culinary spectrum of things, you've got unripe plantains that have been boiled. There's some Kobe is basically our salted tilapia. It's our way of preserving it historically, and you know, it's become a delicacy as well. You've got palm oil in there, red palm oil, kuntumre, cassava leaves. Spinach is a nice, pumpkin leaves. Yes, nice alternative. Especially, I'm saying this because I know there are Ghanaians who are saying, hey, where am I going to find kuntumre? Now I want to eat a boom, but these are some of the things. As for eggs, they're everywhere. You can find them. You know, so just onions, now red onions, white onions, they're all over the world. You can find them. Garlic, do whatever, tomatoes, and then have yourself some abum. If you want to do garden eggs or eggplant too, I think that's a nice, variation to it as well.
Perfect TA for nutrition.
Yes, because he has TA for nutrition.
I had some.
Don't worry.
No, I had some this week.
No, but why did you have to say that?
No, I had some this week.
But I suspect.
I'm looking for. Please, I'm ordering the second one. Yeah.
I suspect you're smiling, not because the album was nice, but because of who made it. Let's take a look at our entertainment highlights. We'll be right back.